Okay, guys, back again with another video for a review of Superman and Lois season 2. Now, I love every second of this season. It is definitely a step up from season 1, and I love the themes that it tackles when it comes to trust, deception, grief, how we handle loss, all those type and several other issues that it tackles as well. But those are the main issues within this season that we see being talked about, and how every single character handles it. And I love how how this season puts a spotlight on every single character that we see, whether it's John or Natalie, Superman, Lois, Clark, Lois. Every single character really has a time to shine, not only action wise, but also a lot of heart and emotion, which I really love about this show was that it's not just action superhero show. It has a lot of heart and emotion to it. There's actually a scene in this show, in one of the episodes, that I believe it's episode 7. There's the drug that's going around called Kryptonite X, and it's basically like, imagine Batman Beyond, where a lot of the team where a lot of the high schoolers were using the the slapstick bandage or whatever to gain Bane strength. It's kind of like that, but it's an inhaler that allows you to gain Superman strength. And Jonathan was using that to get better on the football field, and he was mainly using it because a team member of his was using it, and he just wanted to get ahead and kind of showboat. But when you find out, when he explains to Lois, when he gets caught with it, and he explains to Lois why he was using it in the first place, and her response to him, I'm not gonna lie, that actually kind of broke my heart a little bit, and I got a little teary eyed in that episode. And also, Lois Lane, her sister Lucy Lane, they had a falling out for years. There's a cult that she's involved with a leader named Allie, who's Parasite in the comics, and they do a really great job at handling two villains at once in this season, and that's Bizarro, who isn't initially a main villain. I don't really consider him a huge baddie when it comes to Superman, but also the other one I just named, Ali Parasite. But Bizarro, he's not what you might know and love from the comics or Superman the animated series, but this this different depiction of him is really interesting. In his world, he's a celebrity, and everyone knows that he's Superman. And in his universe, Jonathan has powers and Jordan doesn't. And he's in the limelight so much, taking pictures, kissing babies, that he doesn't have time to be a family man. And that's where you see the family dynamics start to crumble a little bit. And that's when it all falls apart. And Clark, in the main universe, Clark is trying to prevent that from happening as well. That's not a main theme of what's going on in the main universe, but you do see bits and pieces of it when Clark comes back and he finds out that Jonathan was using the experimental drug Kryptonite X to give him strength on the football field. And what's going on with Lana and her husband and Sarah is, man, it's a roller coaster of emotions. And this whole thing, like I said, a main theme of this season is trust, and it seems like a lot of people are having tough times trusting someone that's close to them. Lana can't trust her husband. Lois, a lot of people don't know if they can even trust Lois because as a journalist, Lois has been spending so much of her life keeping all the facts from people. So now she has to, even Superman's identity. So now she has to step up and sort of do the right thing for once in her life as not only a journalist but as a human being and give people the facts that they want to know even if it might scare them. And Jonathan and Natalie, I love their relationship, and Natalie is definitely still grieving and still hurt and from her mother's loss, but also what what's going on with John throughout the season. She doesn't want to. She just lost her mom, so the last thing she wants to do was lose another parent. And the arc that she goes through is definitely very heartbreaking and um, emotional. And I can't wait to see what season 3 brings of their relationship, especially considering, since they're gonna stay on the main, the main universe. And the whole Alley thing, what I really like about how it shows about Allie's character, Parasite, is even though she's a cult leader, that a lot of people think that cults are mainly about, unaliving people and doing crazy shit and stuff like that. But I think mainly it's b- trying to convince people, well, mainly manipulating people and trying to sway them that you're doing what's you're doing, that they're doing the greater good, when actually everything that you're convincing them to do or manipulating them to do is actually for your own personal gain. And even even when Lon, even when Lois tells Lucy about this, she still thinks that Lucy is just being manipulated, and Allie is obviously lying, doesn't care about anyone but herself. But Lucy always brings up her lying about, as a journalist, she's always lying, and she feels like she's jealous of Allie and her relationship. Like Lois never loves her, and there's a whole bunch of stuff I would like to get into, but I think that this season is definitely a massive step up from the previous season and tackles a lot more hard hitting issues than the previous season. And I think it even amplifies it a lot more. Even Bizarro's story is a lot more sympathetic. It's still sympathetic, but I don't think that it might not be a lot of people's favorite version of Bizarro, but I loved it and I enjoyed it. So I think that this season is definitely phenomenal. I think that if you watch this season, that this would have been a great movie for Parasite as the villain, or Bizarro as Bizarro as the villain. And I think the first season would have been a great first season, a great film for General Zod as a villain in a Superman movie. So my favorite episodes will be linked in the description below. But let me know what you guys think. But don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe.